If you're struggling with bipolar depression, there are treatment options. Ask your doctor if once-a-day Latuda, lurasidone HCl, may help you. In clinical studies, Latuda has been shown to be effective for many people struggling with bipolar depression. Latuda is not for everyone. Call your doctor if you have unusual changes in mood, behaviors, or thoughts of suicide. Antidepressants can increase these in children, teens, and young adults. Elderly dementia patients taking Latuda have an increased risk of death or stroke. Call your doctor if you have fever, stiff muscles, and confusion, as these may be signs of a life-threatening reaction, or if you have uncontrollable muscle movements, as these may become permanent. High blood sugar has been reported with Latuda and medicines like it, and in some cases, extreme high blood sugar can lead to coma or death. Other risks include decreases in white blood cells, which can be fatal, dizziness upon standing, seizures, increased cholesterol, weight gain, increased prolactin levels, impairment in judgment, or trouble swallowing. Avoid grapefruit and grapefruit juice while taking Latuda. Use caution before driving or operating machinery. There are paths to treat bipolar depression. Ask your doctor if once-a-day Latuda for bipolar depression is right for you.
Have you gone completely insane? I mean, seriously, have you gone completely insane? Completely insane people go outside, suck on a rock, and bark at the moon.
In many of these shootings, we have people who have mental disturbances.
A practice critics call unthinkable. Discharging seriously ill patients too soon, then supplying them with a one-way bus ticket out of town.
But if now is our only opportunity to have a public discussion about mental health, then perhaps we should do it. Because in 2013, an estimated 43.8 million American adults dealt with a mental illness, and an estimated 10 million of us suffer from a serious mental illness each year. 10 million! That's almost as many people as live in Greece.
Side effects may include dry mouth, insomnia, sexual side effects, diarrhea, nausea, and sleepiness.
Excuse me. Over $5 billion a year is spent just on advertising for pharmaceutical medication, with the actual spending on pharmaceutical drugs approaching $500 billion and expected to rise by 2020 to over $600 billion. People's favorite medication to take away all their problems is still a 9mm handgun. You do not realize when you take one synthetic medication, it's generally stacked with another synthetic medication that only furthers other problems, therefore you have to take another medication on top of that just so that you can mitigate some of the symptoms that come from the first one. I'll explain it to you a little bit more, but first let me get off this rooftop. Why don't you ask yourself this question? What kind of pills are you taking in your daily diet? What is your nutrition like? Have you been working out? Have you been taking care of yourself? Do you eat enough vegetables? What's your stress level like? How many hours of sleep do you get? Do you have a healthy relationship with others? Do you have a healthy relationship with your family? What allergies do you have, if any? What kind of climate do you live in?
Zoloft. When you know more about what's wrong, you can help make it right.
I call bull. Did you recently have surgery? Do you have a certain insulin tolerance? Is there some genetics that you should be aware of? How long have you been a lazy bitch? Do you not take in enough calories per day? How often do you drink? How often do you smoke?
It's not my parents' fault for giving me this medication as a kid. They didn't know any better. Doctors did. The pharmaceutical companies did. What would be the outcome if all of a sudden every American in the United States just stopped taking their antidepressants, stopped taking their anti-seizure, their anti-migraine, their antipsychotic medication, just changed their diet, changed their sleep pattern, actually did the effort themselves? What would happen to them if instead they were supplementing with things like CBD oil, cannabis, low inflammation diets, ketogenic diets, no processed foods? Could they not only survive this, but actually live a healthy and happier life? I can guarantee you that if we all stop taking this medication and doing some of the simple instructions that I have put down before you, we will all be better off. Your children will be better off. The pharmaceutical companies will have to come up with a new strategy, or they'll actually have to create good product. And the health insurance companies can actually spend more time focusing their money and what they're covering on things that actually matter, such as nutrition and diet and exercise. Don't tell me you don't have time. You were born. You have all the time in the world. You have nothing but time.
When you look at how our current system deals with severe mental illness, you'll quickly realise it's a mess, and it always has been. We used to lock people up in asylums, which were often so bad they were known as snake pits.
Another stacker that's used with antidepressants is Adderall. Organs damaged by long-term use of Adderall. The brain, the heart and cardiovascular system, the liver, the kidneys, the lungs. Remember that your doctor has prescribed the medication because he or she has judged that the benefit to you is greater than the risk of side effects. They claim that many of these people do not have serious side effects from this medication. Of course, that's the doctor who's claiming it, depending upon if the doctor is competent or actually gives a shit about your condition to begin with, and if you're just not another number. Note that a primary care physician doctor sees between 40 and 50 patients per day. Long-term side effects of using benzodiazepam: flu-like symptoms, suicide, nausea, headaches, dizziness, irritability, lethargy, sleep problems, memory impairment, personality changes, aggression, depression, social anxiety.
Zoloft is not habit forming. Talk to your doctor about Zoloft, the #1 prescribed brand of its kind. Zoloft. When you know more about what's wrong, you can help make it right.